And welcome back to the pod. This is a different thing that I decided to start for this month when I initially thought about it last month. So this is more like stuff that comes up in my head where I think about it, and I just want to share my thoughts and opinions on it. Sometimes it's going to be a mismatch of various topics, sometimes just one overall topic. Length will be varied, etc., etc. It's supposed to help y'all it's just supposed to help y'all figure out my thought process and how I kind of think about things, given of each individual topic, more or less. And then also another news to be part of the podcast, I've started a substack that's going to be mostly baseball focused. There is currently one article I wrote up on there, like more or less of a trade I think would be very beneficial for both the Cubs organization and the Mariners organization. Now, when it comes to baseball, I am a small and mid-market fan when it comes to teams. I don't really care about nor really like the large markets that have the ability to just buy championships. However, that being said, I also don't really pick a team as a favorite or say whoever is my team. Each organization, it's its own business and how they operate. Each little thing can be cool its own way for the little differences they do for each one. For example, Milwaukee does this cool little thing where they've gone so analytical, where for offense, they're shaking hands with old school baseball. But for the pitching, it's very modern with the high strikeout rates and the guys who are not as good with getting those high strikeout rates get the ball hit into the high leveled defense. It's kind of cool when you think about it. And then with the upcoming lockout with the potential salary cap, I was doing I was commenting on someone's post on social media where they brought up a salary cap or floor. And I'm well, the cap typically comes with the floor. There's two ways baseball can go about it. First one is they can go the NBA, NFL, NHL route, where they should do something like 130 million floor, 160 million cap. The other option is they do their own version of a salary cap, where they would go with a 90 or 100 million floor, but a cap of 220 million, and have the top 5 payrolls of each year, regardless of how much they're paying, would be who's paying a luxury tax. And no matter what, because of the RSNs failing, they would all have that revenue sharing. As you may have listened to last week's episode with Nick, when we talked about the money in sports, I have, I think, a unique way of going about and helping fix the NIL problem, because it's Wild West and it's not working. With the NIL pool of money and how the transfer portal is currently done, give that as an option to the students. But if they do that option, they lose their scholarships. Now, if they go with how it used to be done, because you have to present that as an option, say, all right, you have to be with the school for at least 2 years before going to transfer portal. You don't get any NIL money. To get paid, you have to go after sponsorships yourselves, but you get to keep your scholarship. Now, with the NIL people, they have to be this is where they need to regulate the transfer portal. Say you have to wait until at least 1 full year with the university you are at before transferring. That way they're not hopping around place to place, and cap it to total of 3 transfers, since most students are there for 4 to 5 years. Honestly, it makes a little bit of sense. Now, over this month, there's been a lot of focus on Minneapolis. I don't think it's as important as what's going on in Iran, but When it comes to the two shootings that happened, the first one was mostly on Renee Good for being the one in the wrong. The second one, the ICE agent who shot the guy is mostly in the wrong. So it's like the second one, you could tell the guy had a phone in his hand rather than a firearm, although he did have a firearm on him in his holster, and a different ICE officer took the firearm away, and then he got shot. But the firearm had a high mag, so the question is, what the hell is he doing with a high magazine in Minneapolis, which at the time, and still kind of is, a pseudo war zone? That's a good question to ask, is why did he have such a high magazine? Either way, he did not have an arm on him, and they say he was resisting arrest. Well, when you have sirens and a bunch of shouting going on, when apparently he may have been trying to break up a fight, I don't know that for sure. You have a hard time hearing other people, whether it be talking, yelling, or a bunch of people yelling. You can't really talk over other noise that are louder or talk over other people, because then no one's going to hear anyone. It just doesn't work like that. And as of recording, I believe that Trump is trying to get a probe done into that second one, which, quite frankly, there should be. Now, what's coming up? Well, I was hoping that within this month or next month, we would get a couple of Wisconsin gubernatorial candidates on. I don't know if that's going to happen. Quite frankly, because political burnout does exist, I go in waves of how into politics I am. And right now it's one of the low-end burnout periods, but because I also do it as part of my day job and I'm professional about it, I do it. I love doing my job. Just going through a little bit of a political burnout at the moment. So we're keeping politics to bare minimum on the show anyways. It's going to happen periodically. But I told Tyler, all right, we're going to keep it to an absolute minimum. And my thoughts and beliefs, they don't change much. The only thing is I get more info, and then I kind of shape my opinion over time. If I don't know enough, I just go, I don't know enough about said situation. With the Substack, you can find it just by punching in the first and last name of Brandon Fisher. That's me. I also obviously record and produce everything. I record the monthly MLB hot stove transactions for like a real recap. Actually, mentioning the recap, I think I forgot about the Cody Bellinger contract. Now, if I check that real quick, I believe, they did finalize the contract. That's like a 5-year deal that the Yankees offered as their final offer yesterday. I may have forgotten to put that one up. But either way, that one was signed. It's like he kind of never left the Yankees, so I'm also not too butthurt about forgetting to put that into the recap. Still. And then tomorrow, Tyler and I are planning on putting together a shorter episode related to the trades, free agency, and trade ideas that may work. I also would like to see what teams he would like to do. Now, what do I mean by teams that he would like to do? For this upcoming baseball season, I'd like to have be following and keeping an eye on 5 teams, and 2 of which cannot overlap with Tyler's selections. I asked Tyler to do the same exercise. I think it'd be fun. Have to watch a lot of games and read what's going on. I also encourage people to check out OOTP. Not a sponsor. I do love that simulator. And it helps me come up with trade ideas, funny enough. And if I just double check my Substack, you should have... Yeah, you have my post where it's just underneath, again, my first and last name. Substack's free, by the way. Totally download it. You can read some good stuff on there. Anyways, that's all I got for today's little What's on My Mind. And this will be a monthly thing. That's going to be year round. When we go to regular season, I was hoping we were going to go to once a week. Now it's going to be like 3 times a month. And then we're going to have 1 week where I'm going to do a filler thing of either What's on My Mind and or bring a guest on to do like a solo thing with that might be music related. Mentioning music, I do view music as a very important thing. Everyone should attempt to learn it. In fact, how can you get well-written stuff and have new music produced and written and performed without people learning how to play all the like those different instruments and performing? Plus, you can play some really cool stuff. Like I participated at UW Whitewater's Trombone Day with their adult group conducted by Dr. Olson. If you remember from the early episodes of the first season and / first year, same thing really. First year, some episodes are really weak and kind of crap or just are bad. And then other ones are pretty solid. Everything's just going to keep progressing and getting better over time is my suspicion. If you really feel like going back to check out any of those, you're welcome to. I'd personally avoid the first one. The launch episode was, in my opinion, not very good. Most people would say it's not very good. It's a starting point. Tyler never done it before at the time. I was extremely rusty with doing a show, and we were trying to figure out the dynamic of how it works, and now it's more like I'm the main commenter, and he's more like the color guy if you want to think of like sports broadcasting terms. It's just kind of how it turned into. And then, as always, you can email us at letschatbt@gmail.com. You can follow us on Twitter /X at letschatbt. Facebook community group. Yeah, you just type in Say This is Brandon Tyler community and group on, just find that, join it. Follow the announcement page on Facebook. The Instagram is hardly ever used. We do have a Blue Sky account for the podcast. It's not used. It's only there to upload and share episodes there. We're not going to communicate with that via that at all. We do have a Discord that's not in use. We'd like to get that up and running again. If people would like to join it and interact with us, that'd be great. If you want to submit questions to us, if we were to ever get those gubernatorial candidates up on the pod, that would be fantastic. We'd love that. It'd help ask other questions that we can't think of. And the YouTube channel is where you can find everything related to the Glenwood Moravian Trombone Choir, as well as another playlist I set aside for the Sun Prairie Community Band, which I do promote as well. Until next time.